is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Among for a D yaw bebre mumu because among for suffered before NDC party et me then eba power. Says Sammy who was sika be Eddie Mobia. It shouldn't be Agradaa. It's either Agradaa Obi Sumano and as Agradaa or Sumano. Mamma no money said Osikasa. What I say, Obi o Kasa poto. Once they say Ponko, Jina or near, one Libina, both from Sepa, Sana Maminitia.
NDC for no binom ayachum. Let me put it this way. Without any fear or favor. Kind of what to about farmer NDC for say, Mumaye Jay, Ahomaswo, and your hand tie with the passo. Some of the NDC people, appointees, and NDC core members, Libby, are hypocrites. Some of you, the NDC people, are saying, say, Sammy Gyamfi Jay, or your Ahomaswo, or your hand tie, but we see our big one. Oh, Sammy Gyamfi. Oh, Sammy Gyamfi. That is hypocrisy.
And the chief of staff and as a government, then you say, a bina can't, Nenaya to so, but government is acting. And to the no, Avanya Botre, JB Munya Botre. Agradaa issue not just said a hono. Sena Makachono, Ubia Chene Serena Basao, Bia Canadian, different angles, and NDC in Casemwa. And yes, Sammy is $1 in the Agradaa. Or sit a month for NDC for no be a omo ya a koma who say ya ye duma de ama NDC about power na ye probi on be sika de ama no ama ye hu ama ka se o we dia senya hwe ono so ye duma ni bi Agradaa mami we ya o chese o kasetian NDC sa mahama kasetian NDC sa o sami wa ba o be yiska dollars e na wo de ma no Avan say no Sammy Gyamfi adwuma waye ne de ono dollars JB cracker. Say Sammy Gyamfi adwuma waye ne disiko dollars convert ya we so aketu bi. What I say? Na NDC fo be a hypocrite. JB aka. O say dwe na homaso no bi ma sha sentem. Ma sha sentem pa. Dwe ahomaso de MPP 4 year ya pamom no. Say we put there 4 years oba sore so. Into ya 4 years or so na say obi eni obi ma yehwa yebeto mana ya to ma independent candidate no bi apan we bi atra Agradaa asem no ya o mafa ya wo na sisi di no so nya hodemba emunsem tesen
Sammy Gyamfi sika no kokoche ye no ne ho asema ebobo ba ne ade the lady keeps talking. That is say friend say Gary Siko say Sika Gary. She keeps talking too much. Itama as a semno ya ye hikakra. My name, Chairman, from your end, very far before free.
JB, they didn't kind of we need to call a spade a spade. Wahoo, many Sammy Gyamfi. I'm say, Papa Yana, Onufi say, Ebia Wakakoye Papa, Ama Obiti say, Agradaa. Ako Yisika, Ama Agradaa. Enyesika Biano. Na $1 enyesidi wo $1 na what kind dollar no wa eduru ba bi na Agradaa kura sana e dan fani nyina ma me na wasana atwe de aka no se fani nyina ma me na waje owie no wo de kira manfo se magi dollar afi Sammy Gyamfi wo very very unfortunate very unfortunate. The American say is either Agradaa Obi Sumano and as Agradaa or Sumano. So who examine video no critically ansana Agradaa be approach Sammy Gyamfi say oko diskano or they can friend the cameraman or yeni say send the cameraman and the embre closer time and the cameraman o chano na Agradaa kunuso echa. It means a planting and my plan say I was say Sammy Gyamfi or the Ogu Sammy Animase. But now it's say Sammy or look so smart. I was say securities around Sammy Gyamfi. I was saying come look smart say Mama no crown say obebe Sammy Gyamfi crown. Then communicate so masa in there. See. And now among for you peeved. Among for a D yaw bebre wo mumu because among for suffered before NDC party et me then eba power. Say Sammy who was sika be Eddie Mobia. It shouldn't be Agradaa. Proud to 2020 elections. I'm telling you, say uko social media no koko hunu nsema Agradaa unprintable words are Agradaa or catcher John Dramani Mahama. It will shock you. Say uko who words are even with Nkuko Kitenkiti policy no. Shen Sampa Agradaa or Kafa NDC ho. At the sense of Kojina Mon from Kra, no, because NDC party, say who are better Obama, NDC party Biano, necessary Unim Yansa, Sandy Power, Ekasa party, Eka before party, who the party now power, now and maybe big a crabby crab with Sama. So, person, yes, Sandy Pan Papa, it shouldn't be Agradaa. I'm telling you, yeah, but see the Ababe Casano. If I tell you, Miss Aefa Kraba, you wouldn't believe it. Na enesa Agradaa momuba obi papa sabi same it shouldn't be Agradaa. It shouldn't be Agradaa. Agradaa nyansa ba na wa Agradaa team Agradaa dema na Agradaa nima uko cho biska wo se Agradaa na mikoche niska Agradaa we jim for nim nyansa sabi chairman sabi Agradaa woni nipa wo nyansa uri bibi koma na kra na at least they watching you know my chance eduba bia asem bi o wa eya eduba bia asem bi o wa je bi eya won o say ye kan ye ya bre ansa na party near the eba power and necessary was ka bi e ya doya me see say wo national security headquarters a say wo ura reception ho a na wo hwa amanfo pan o mugu ho a e bia wonim say bia obi ho a wo di complain na national security obi ho a e bia no wo cancer na doctor no kra wo da hospital wo nyet kai na da enfontua obi wo hwa ye twana nan ne nyina no omuti ho masalan omu twan se wo mbekọ japa ho amajapa bo omo me donyankopon se kokko huru nipa ajakwa osore wo bo omo in a day at the national security it will shock you se wo sika for komano na papa no for sika nya de enya doye but you shouldn't be Agradaa locus man Agradaa kita u ko kan dollar e de ma Agradaa party ni bi kwa betima hia o wo chiawa ebia nyiso no kwa no emfam nyiso papa na da emma amanfo di ya wo mumu what ma say na what me ade akokan e planting or ma planning but me de me person me catch Sammy Gyamfi say I will say Sammy Gyamfi ye very extra your friends are careful because position ide ma Sammy Gyamfi no is one of the sensitive positions Ghana hano Sammy Gyamfi de ama simply because Sammy we a communication officer wabo humode why ejuma what I say you need to be rewarded. But say rewarding with Chadina, na your mouth say, Ebia for Sadino, Equia Niama and Sana Fata. You are a very fine gentleman. What must I say? You will be who is Sikano Qua. Sikano Obikra planning evil against you are. Sa evil nani Pocron plan Crano and count. But Obi is Agradaa, who is Sikakoma Agradaa, Obio Bibia the count. I'm telling you, Obiko Kojina Bikaka, one in Koguasia, one in Beguasi. Because Agradaa need the type of people nipa house who quiet papa. No wasaba be we asaba kikan kwasi asam acha manfo.
Chairman as no
Sam Mandina tam. Me see one mama be kikan kwasi asam acha manfo. Mandina tam.
Oh national television so same do one man akra.
Debi I my flow because
no but same do one
Debi niam dey free fear baro. That niam na so what I say.
No never free fear by
no Debi do no and say asoye asoye because I kasa manfo tie. But I must say, Kasa Manfotier. But if you make a Sammy say, Sardina Samia and Samim Sabia or Papa, but Sa Papa where Papa better having. Papa where Samiano, a Papa better having, and for Sobia Niso, in Shirabia Niso. The episode Sammy Gyamfi says, in Shirabia and Niso. Yes, Ramu, in Shirabia Niso, and this say, Papa, young Shababia, I was say, your orphanages, Babi, Bebre, or a month for Yamwa. A month for Huchromo, and that's all called hospitals are. No go huna obi kwa wo yare just small ayi o peska kwa pia no hospital be wonya o peska o am ya yina through hospital wada ho sa no ho mabo wonya se wo ska ana se wonya ska no office ska no unim ne sabe udi ska no be ya sa microphone wo ho yen kwa hwehwe sa microphone na fa yen kwa o papa na obi di sa Agradaa de I disagree with sa sika na wodi ma Agradaa I disagree Agradaa wo dis kana would I rest my case?
That's it.
I think Chairman Abufo or they can summarize a lot of things, but I think it's quite unfortunate But JB, I think that the good side is that the gentleman has seen the need. Say Onua, I offended the sensibility of a lot of Ghanaians. Your friend say, "Well, render an unqualified apology," because act now you see, and obviously in the sight of right-thinking Ghanaians, when you see it, especially where Ghana has come from. Now, in recent times, corruption, those kind of way, the central team in our politics, and some of these things, it was unfortunate because the act wasn't meant to be recorded. But unfortunately, it has been recorded. You also try to say, we're a government official, wherever you are, you need to be very...
You should be guided.
You should be guided.
Yeah.
Your environment, because now you are in the public eye.
Yeah, sure.
Everything that you do is not about you alone. Even when you are in your bedroom on your phone speaking to somebody on phone, tell yourself, say, as a maker in private, a bad public, can I defend? That is because the tendency.
Good taste.
Exactly. The tendency, because now, no, it's like, what is screens will be a show. People are more sure, you can't see them. Yet, those watching us, I can't see them.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Everybody can see us.
Yeah.
So that is what you need to see yourself as somebody, your friend say, in higher office and as for them. And I think that's we have the pain, charm, and other people, like coma. It's not just about Sikana Sammy Gyamfi, Edema, your friend say, Dema will be, but it's about the person involved. Yeah. And I think that at the end of the day, anger na abba, and it's understandable because you see, Obekaya on recently, Muntaka eba video, so now we are crying the same Agradaa. Me say the way NDC supporters are taking on, no, the ministry issued a statement to clarify. That's how people are very peeved when it comes to this individual.
Yeah.
And the same person is in another way. So clearly, I just say the same person repeating over and over and over. And sometimes the anger is highly understandable because of some Nema. Why? There are a lot of people now. If you share brand TV on the Captain's Party, I say campaign time. And Africa, so not to talk from and pie.
Wow.
Or sending pictures, and or say up to now, Obiam friend of Crime and what to say. So you see, when some of these people see some of these things, obviously they will be very way.
Yeah.
But I think that rendering
for him to send a call back party office or no more. Wako party office or no more Obiam, you know.
Yes.
While that's paying for so some more more friend from us Obiam, you know.
Yes.
Into all bad radio presenter and TV presenter.
Yes.
You can imagine the level of frustration.
So I'm saying this to explain why people are angry over some of these things.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good part they say Nipana at the center of this particular thing has admitted say the act was an act of indiscretion on his part, and he has apologized for it. The rest is for government because it's not as if say government and so are relaxing on this thing because chief of staff as someone. And going forward, Ghana for trendy. For me, I think it's a good start because you see, JB, in the past, never be says here it will just slide. By neck, good governance has been upgraded to a level where Ghana for expect their government to discharge some level of your friends saying. Integrity, honesty, and as a form. Anything of this conversation, because in the past, a lot as here, we will not even have a time to talk about it in this particular manner. Let alone the person who feels why the body, will have the courage to say, I'm sorry for what I have done.
So my minister are innocent. So what happens? What will be the consequences of the actions of any government official to say be a chief of staff?
Okay.
Say ABR. So, okay, Sammy Gyamfi, onye bonibia, you have not committed any crime.
Okay.
But morally, adia oye ne yansen nimti, you are suspended. What will be the consequence? And now say bia, you just want to say okay, you are query. What will be the consequence? And what will be the effect on the CEO Sammy Gyamfi?
I think that particular power now rests with the government and the president to make that particular decision. But those calling for his dismissal, I totally disagree.
Yeah.
Because it's like killing an ant with a bulldozer. Because acting, mistake, indiscretion, mistake, and then crime, indiscretion. Like exercising poor judgment. That is the only thing. But to say it's a crime, I disagree. To call for his head, no. And may say the side that what Pacha should also send your friends a loud way. Say he has admitted he has done wrong and he has apologized to the people of this country. As to whether the apology will be accepted or not, I don't know. You can't convince people to accept apology or not. And then the government has decided to take a next step. You understand? That is why Senkeba ye and the chief of staff and as a government enyan kan ho hwea. Then you say abana kan nenaya to so. But government is acting, you understand?
Yeah.
And then I bring it into question the press conference that the MPP did yesterday.
Omo press conference.
Oh, the minority. The president and Saki Sammy Gyamfi.
It's a bogus.
And when I saw the press conference, I said, these are a bunch of shameless jokers who nobody should take serious in this country. Because you see, in the first place, Sammy Gyamfi from who they need to apologize to the people of this country. No, Obianka from here. The guy has erred and he has apologized. Debbie. Yet now, Kroma Nema Kosu Besin, the decency to even apologize to the people of this country. To date, Yenyabi. Yente Kromana, your friends say Yakofa, a rapper man better Jubilee House.
Why?
Rapper make meals of mine, Jubilee House. The gentleman as a rapper saw the sense to apologize to the people of this country. Till date, when I apologize, say yeah. These same people were supporting your friend Cecilia Dapa when we had millions of dollars. I say there is this equivalence. They are equating Sammy Gyamfi issue to Cecilia Dapa issue.
Now, since Sammy Gyamfi and Castle on Kotigatem on the Kotiodor River. So, when
Cecilia Dapa had millions of dollars under her bed, these people could not call press conference. And there are a lot of shitty stuff in this country. As an American, you see, Sammy Gyamfi any right-thinking citizen in Ghana have every right to say anything, criticize, call for his head, whatever. But you see, he who comes into equity must come with clean hands.
Yeah.
Few days ago, these people were out there defending all this nonsense. Suddenly, you are lynching on this particular thing. Where is your credibility? Say, JB Trana or criticizing Sammy Gyamfi. It's okay because in the past you were criticizing.
Yeah.
The question is, these are people who are condoning all the nasty stuff happening in this country. All of a sudden, you will gather the moral courage and the enthusiasm to get out there doing press conference. I'm saying that these guys are jokers. And no right-thinking Ghanaian will take them serious for what they are doing. Because in the past, even common apology, we didn't even get it. We can run you through the number of scandals. Nema, act of indiscretion. We're quite an indiscretion, act of crime. Saying, and Nema, an insult to the sensibility of Ghanaians in this country. These people could not even have the courage. And some of them were on TV defending. But
innocent, so the president said in the code of conduct said by.
Yes.
And all catch appointees and they said they should not live a luxurious lifestyle, cautioning them about certain things.
Yes.
And even though it is not a crime,
yes,
but it will send a negative signal to the people. And it's a typical example of what Sammy Gyamfi. So when this thing happens, BBC ACR, what should be the posture of the president and what will happen to Sammy Gyamfi? Say, and Sebia, whichever way, it will have a negative effect on him.
Oh, exactly. So the thing is, now the act has been done. There is nothing that anybody can do to change it.
Absolutely.
So Sammy Gyamfi has apologized.
Yes.
Chief of Staff has called him to listen to his side of the story.
Absolutely.
Now the rest of the decision rests on government and the president to make a decision.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Whatever decision that they make, we have no control. We are in waiting to find out what will happen. You understand?
Yes.
At this point, but whichever way you look at it. In the sight of right-thinking men of society, definitely people will feel disappointed, especially the government being few days old. And again, a man for expected said the trajectory we've been in recent times, where arrogance, profligacy, those kind of things became the signature enterprise of governments. People expect that this time there will be a shift. So when some of these things happen, obviously, we are humans. People will feel disappointed. And the disappointment coming, most of them are coming from NDC platform, and a chairman, you understand?
Yeah.
Because people feel sad. And yet you see, a man for a there are people calling people they are not picking. There are people, your friends, trying to see people they are not seeing. So people are frustrated. When things happen like this, now, Obi have venting the anger and the frustration on some of these things.
Yeah.
That will put government in a very tight corner. So, me say the reaction going on, it's understandable. You understand that?
Yeah.
But the most important part is the apology, and the government has acted. That is the two key things we can take from these things.
So, would the president have any moral justification to also caution or sack any appointee of wrongdoing? A similar situation like this, so be quiet.
Okay. No, you ask that question after the act. After the president has acted, you understand that?
Okay.
Because now the person has been, because as a principle of natural justice, some explanation has to be, that particular destiny has been communicated. The rest of the decision now rests with them. So when government or president comes out with a decision, that is when your question becomes relevant. You understand?
Yeah.
But as it stands now, the person has been listening, he has apologized as to whether the president will act or not. But for me, those calling for dismissal is out of way. I mean, no. It's like killing an ant with a bulldozer because acting is an act of indiscretion. Exercising poor judgment at when he was not supposed to. He has realized it, he has admitted it, we've moved on, he has apologized, government has taken action. A child said, government is not condoning act like this. So it's also a message to other people, says Sammy Gyamfi, he has been summoned. Government has listened to his side of the story. Whatever they are going to do, and it's also a way of putting appointees in your friends a corner. You need to be guided because you see, whenever you are in a private space, say I'm now because despite now or $10 make me a video that to social media.
Absolutely.
But the very moment you hold public office, it could be class.
No, the sika because
exactly.
But you see, no government appointee has been paid.
And you need to understand the context I'm coming from.
Yes.
Sikano, but because of the position, a man forward concern about this, you understand. So, and not just a way appointee, won't know who going forward. You should be guided the way you talk, who you speak to, your friends saying. And some other kind of phones, even messages you send on your phone, you need to, because anything can happen. Things on your phone can go viral, you understand? We are government appointee, what load up on good phones. But me could come, baby. You was having me away, so whatever. Anything can happen, you understand me? As a medical person, I understand some of these things. You can pass out anytime. Somebody can have access to your phone. So make sure, say, near my negative, those way, you don't keep on your phone.
All right.
Now you'll be guided. Now who say you are an ambassador of a government because the other side of this whole Sammy Gyamfi Agradaa saga has to do with, you see, JB, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic. And I keep telling people, say, I was born a Catholic, I will live as a Catholic, and I will die as a Catholic. I'm a Christian. Means me criticize it, other religion. But the me won't know I can. You see, in recent time, I think that Christianity is breeding a pool of idiots in this country.
Oh, how?
Yes. Say I'm fire na NDC form na yan regulate churches and somehow individuals operate in this country. Ya ne bebe ahoso no okay Jamestown massacre. US. Mami in the center of this thing, so you comfort or you suffer, people know the trajectory. All of a sudden, I set up a church, and Sunday people go there, and on summer, on Sammy Gyamfi by social media, I don't watch certain videos, but I took my time to go through some of the videos, some of them summer, original sorry them, I can't nipa. And I think say Christian cancer woo baby, and now I buy what baby do I'm fan and NDC form. Now in the name of religion, we will give power to idiots, and they will breed a lot of idiots in this country. Abai no atiti sika or they training a man for school no eduru Sunday. Now you see a training sabi nipa munim nyansa, because some of these things you think any consequences. Some of these things you see people assembling people, fooling them, telling things they don't even understand. Because you think Christianity is just like anything.
But there's a ministry of religious affairs.
I'm saying it's Oko Islam. A man for be preaching, and before you can preach. You see, you cannot assemble people and allow people. I said, oh, you're so ignorant about. And I said, Jebi, uncle school that can you go to hospitals or surgery, uncle medical school. So Christianity and I said religion, a doctrine you need to understand, have your friends a certain knowledge about it before you can stand in front of people and then you preach to them. Because a moral line and I will build it in them. But somebody who doesn't have it, he doesn't even understand. All that they say, who can verify that particular thing? So on mine, this thing happened in the 80s, in the 90s in America. And a woman Jim Jones issue has to do with Jamestown massacre. So futimi dada na sore mama omu nyina no cyanide ewuye nipa 900. Until date, it remains the biggest homeland killing in America at the time I see in the history of the country. You see the NDC from we have social media, people imagine I'm a software, I'm a minipa. Yes, I respect Christianity, I'm a Christian, but in recent times there are powerful idiots who are emerging from Christianity. And I say I'm fire NDC from now you crack it down on some of these people. Trust me, social media will give them that oxygen of publicity. Whenever they say things, it will go viral because people are there to fixate on some of this nonsense. But for me, I think I'm buying a wake-up call. Let us look beyond the Sammy Gyamfi issue and also wade into this emerging nonsense on the sidelines of Christianity. Now you're making sure, say, a religion you're proud of to be part, you know. You're best sanitizing and making sure, say, it will not become an avenue where fools will just come and say, and they mislead people because you're training a man for university schools, you know. Now these fools are also training people on Sundays, training them to become bigger fools. It will endanger the prospect of this country. Have you observed, say, in this country in recent time, people don't even go to work. A man for a year, you first empire from Monday to Sunday. Productive hours where can you live in the UK and do that kind of things and survive? Where people are supposed to go to work from Monday to evening, no. I want for to prayer camp quite Bema Katachi over say before a year or more dama Bema Katachi before a year. Also say we need to understand certain things and allow ourselves to be misled into some of this nonsense. This people are high on this spiritual nonsense. Say I'm fire and see from near and stop this idea where America are walking away about 30 years ago, no, we are walking into that particular minefield. Some of these things is if you understand the psyche, Makato said, and we become that particular thing. And when people get exposed to social media and they see some of these things, people think it's funny. And what about you are indoctrinating people, and at the end of the day, they become that particular. You can't survive. And the more you watch, the more you become that particular thing. Don't forget, there is the reason why we're creating a bunch of a man for us, and now if you wake up on Sunday, Sunday, I wasn't feeling fine. And I'm saying, your friends a drato. Do you know the vicinity I live? Me scanning around from morning to evening. If your friends say, learn to bread, but be no pharmacy shop. I be. Sorry. And this is a country I see a Juba, a see.
And that's Sunday, I so sorry. No, that's a Sunday. So as a businessman, you need to have a plan. Because, for instance, Catholics say, if you call Sorana past 6 o'clock, if you call your friends saying 10 o'clock, you do arrangement because open die, you turn near my chrome higher. A Sunday, some more no baby and I brought for the Sunday, uncle owner not from Monday, and I will tell you, say, thou make it sicker and a Sunday. What I say? I say, keep the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Observe the Sabbath day and keep it holy. No, sir. I am saying, sure, I'm 14. I will be a Sabbath day who feed you. Yes, no, sir. You need to think positive and make sure that you avail your mind to happiness. I think, sir, I'm calling on government, sir. Some of these things, yes, when I see young people preaching the word of God, and I say for them. But you see, there are other people also emerging into the fold. They are misleading, misinforming, and fooling people. We need to tap in and stop this nonsense. And yes, sir, remember, and then we say about the crowd catch up with Christian in class. I told you that now we are because of this nonsense going on social media. And then I am about it. All right, a lot of messages about our Facebook. Obeso betimi de odi aba na ye di nkomo. Chairman, obeka ho asema na ye nko into Zoom live issue.
JB, kakra me be say me ka fa ho ni say na ye ka say minority ekoye press conference against
ma who's a more you more church right house but didn't pay attention.
A very unfortunate your friends press conference now because press conference who say it doesn't hold fire. I say omotiwo am say omuni bibia omuni juma bia di and omako ka omo abom na omo hold pressure because we share nema asisi atwam na we asisi la dapanum issue na we debe asisi scandals bibira asisi no
and then edubu ahen ne 7 days naso nto message na kokko to be
na okoko hwe san nema ya we mu nyina ye no the ben wo sorry a wo kase me kokko press conference against other ayinida now kwabrania kwakotena se esiki amanfo attention say also mbetie sa press conference a omoye na ne atu Sammy Gyamfi no de bia ya meka em say ebe serve as a deterrent ama every government official biana holding public office no ebe serve as a deterrent ama na ebe duru ba bi so no ebiana obi o pepa se oye papa ma obi but because of niasi nanti se o sia no pese oye papa ma okra na like ontumi nyesa papa no nyede
like for instance me ntwa no. Now there is also this thing across social media for Sukwache.
Yeah.
The minister in charge of communication, the president. So, Oba, or your sister station, TV3. What was our phones now? You be a mummy and son.
Yeah.
And now, or do you know the assistant name? And I heard him now as urgent information for you when a simple iPad or laptop could do that job. And I could also assume now or more air target, you know, that's very particular, you know. Okay, the price of that such phone now. I am told it says about $11,200 and something.
Oh, but let me clear. Felix owned that particular thing even long before he came to power.
But
you own those things long before.
Yes, but here is the case that the president was preaching against luxurious lifestyle. Somebody see it as commentaries on social media. It's also one of the key things you need to pay attention to.
Minister, you come on the platform, you need to on the laptop no anyway. Laptop is more expensive. No, laptop is more expensive than that particular.
Well, it depends.
Huawei phone that triple slide.
Yeah, triple slide.
He has been owning this phone is almost a year. Maybe who you
absolutely. It's not a bad thing.
You see, yes, our governance a bedroom baby. And no, all the support and Kwana Bennett. And now some government official and national support.
Who say, ever saw some no one? Sir, Udu who need da. Sir, Udu Sika da. You know, who do Sika, Mascano, who say, Udina Ansana at the position I day, Amau. Who say, Obedi, sir, Felix of Zukache, what did no da, Ansana, yet is a position near day, Emano. So Obedi say Ofosukwate okita phone no kra na even a 10 kra na sisi na anima. I don't see anything wrong with that. You woni ma bebre o ha. We should be thinking about that. So your friends say sa era no atwam. Sa era no say what the weba be si wo when your friends say laptop is and iPad ni sa phone no kra bi wo iPad ni bi wo kra na 450 million. But I'm going to what name it on. And this how you need me. I disagree with people. Omuko social media. Omuko kasa when you are pay. Tani pano and I would phone no man or pay. Indeed, one who deserve say phone no kitano. Any day me I don't see anything wrong with that.
So
but you koya nimno the American say. What we say sab nema atu sameno. Same emfanya friends and swadi hunu. Would say emfanya suya de. No unsuya nema bebre ne da every ho. Unse we are no say wo ho na bibi kura to. Na wanya obi amana criticize wa. One kasa no kura no ntumi ngina wona so wanya den enya de. Going forward no mesra no. One hwe na nam 2 year na omo a sabi omo bo ne ho ban as a young guy no sankrofo no so no omo nya hwe enye obi biara eno be ma no kwan amana ba Sammy Gyamfi ho se obi sabi say obi say Agradaa oba no ana mo prevent Agradaa ma Agradaa ma ne ho a I don't think say sade we nkabesi. What I said because my no money said kasa. What I say obi o kasa poto. One say ponko jina ona won a woni bini na bofum say pop. Say na ma tia. What I say to such a person no say body for no one. At least no say we money barrier. What I say?
Get away from Zoom Lion and it's coming from the office of the president. Ebsen Kofo send a petition say abide and discontinue the contract between government of Ghana and the Zoom Lion. So the president, office of the president, signed by the secretary to the president, Kalistos Mahama, PhD, or the Kataway about say petition to discontinue the expired contract between YEA and Zoom Lion Limited. And Oka said, I acknowledge receipt of the letter dated 27th April 2025 regarding the subject matter or the subject above. This is to inform you that the matter is being given the necessary attention, and the outcome will be communicated to you in due course. Okay. Please accept the renewed assurance. Please accept the renewed assurance of my highest esteem. We era Kalistos Bahama and Adesa Krata with the Ababontin and Ose Manas Azuri and Adesa petition the Koye, and so the letter is being addressed to Manasseh Azuri. My name say, a few minutes away to me.
I'm very interested in this subject. Yebi, You see, this whole Zoom Lion brouhaha, no, for me, I think that it's a tip of the iceberg. You see, we need a lot of reforms at our labor front.
Yeah.
But over the years, a lot of staff so. Zoom Lion, according to sources, no critics, among for no more has a very lucrative contract with government. And also, I go to the down to employ Ghanaians. Ghana for no year, Juma. JB, if you look at the stipend being paid to the average and the ordinary Ghanaian or surround a park of Pratt Street, Sabola, and as a former, what's here was a
yeah.
And you're nowhere close to the minimum wage of this country.
Absolutely.
But this is a government contract. So the question is, why will you go for a lucrative contract? And I know that they pay your workers so poorly to the extent, here's some of the pay no more the more and Malik, that has been his way. And yes, he has anything against Zoom Lion, it's because of the pay they are giving to people who are working for them.
Yeah.
These are Ghanaians, they need to make a living. Now with your bigger, in fact, even 500 Ghana cry, even 1,000 Ghana will cry now. How do you expect a person to survive?
Serious.
At our labor front, me say business won't be near to baby. But as long as you open your door front and make sure that you employ people, you need to pay them a decent kind of way. So some of these things, I think that they are just symptoms of a broken system. Government need to review our labor laws just to ensure, Obia all year Juma Biano and decent income. And then make us a tip of the iceberg. And you see, there are a lot of foreign companies. I employ Ghanaians. Do you know what they do? They pay them through third parties.
Yeah.
And the third party will return the foreign company will pay the third party, the second party, maybe bear your friend saying 1,500 Ghana a city. Now he will come down and pay the workers 500 Ghana cities. Foreign company names say 500 but they are paying the workers who are working, 500 Ghana cities. Obian who can be more kruma say.
It's so terrible. I remember companies be omoye juma or hanu even if I don't cry a Ghana company. They are not even paying their even within media houses you cry. Don't want to open. Senator Muntia. Baby, or pay people badly within the media. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You understand?
Yeah, that's true. Media houses in
may say most of them, about 90% of media houses in this country, they don't pay people well. A few people now are salating at you.
But I had let me also acknowledge.
I'm not saying some.
But may justify I'm justifying say no problem. Everybody, almost everybody is satisfied. Let me say everybody is satisfied.
I say 90% of
the media houses.
And don't count 10%. Just tell people we are part of the 10% and we move on. So JB, say they don't pay well. So government need to move in just to ensure some of these things, they need to earn that decent income. But some of these car riding companies here by say if you go the way they are treating their people, but when there was a time I was going to a radio station and may car. Me koduru ye no na 50 Ghana cedis. Mawie me buy say nso amunantino. Ade 50 Ghana cedis no I change it to 150 Ghana cedis. Who is regulating? Obiti aprenim na ono a say nso amunantino. How about am nso amuna? Does it affect the price of a way? Because there is no proper regulation. Nobody is asking them to do the right thing. You understand? Omo da sora riders no. Oh, and they charge you 20% and they charge you 50. Go to US and other people and look at the fear. Omo free drivers not check it. Government need to move in. Yeah, dwell on. Your friend is saying this Zoom Lion tonight. You made a mistake. We say a widespread phenomenon that we need to move in and crash
very
them.
Well. I mean, that was on that. Chairman, just 1 minute.
JB.
Yes.
1 minute answer. On Zoom Lion issue, no.
Yeah.
Mesre, me anka a coming kwa. The contract between Zoom Lion and YE should be abrogated completely. Omu renew contract no krabium. Because a senseless and baseless new contract between Zoom Lion and YE. I've been an assemblyman before. Say who could time Zoom Lion ni be sorry about Juma as early as 5:30. Because me sorry 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Now about prepra. At the end of the day, no, about sorry about prepra no. Na busumi beduru even 2.5 common 2.5 outside the
market 2.5
common 250 Ghana cedis I bet you amukano it will take them about 11 months na ntwa obika 11 good months na ntwa obika sabi wuzum la nko your friends boss na won we dey me for say o mama ana o papa ana say wunwan bi na yes aduma na ndi kanokra nka wulu bi happy say time obesoro oba aduma na so otwa nka bosumi so otwa nka na onu suka no business ka bi kwa dia bibi no we say me ntwa nipa no kwa what does you see 20 nipa no we dey 10,000 Ghana cedis a month what does out of 1,000 Ghana cedis no we dey what is 750 Ghana we dey kokoto ho we see me more 250 Ghana out of 250 Ghana no we dey 20 nipa no kwa ka na we say bosumi aso am watwa nka and so we see no na ada na wose sa contract we no yetimi kasa ye kwa kwatena se kura na e ba badwe kwan be so na e foso a wose sa contract ne sare ni hwe one unse zoom line o contract between omuni assembly no one because of decentralization into every municipal every metropolitan every district no among the number of containers are even omodiba se container ne bana enso a wose assembly no mom timi procure container for eba dumping site assembly na provided dumping site but sikana eba no assembly has no right over the sikana eba omunim the quantum of amount yet sikana at source what must say entino say omuba no omu ba ya adwuma even supervisory role kura no assembly no has no supervisory role over zoom layo aden na say etimi ba sa entimi the mesre contract ni so omu that into the contractor they should go in and then do the needful
MDC is now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Na nyina ye twen se ajebo am se ajano wanya ba wie. Am se na nyina ye twen Ashanti region se nka Ashanti region dia no ebeba.
Yes.
Eno no aye late. Ha na niema na eya consider wo your friend say Ashanti region mayemu no am say Bibia has been sorted.
This is Akatu constituency district Ashanti region. Mampong and Nachumampo Nuya.
Very well.
Yes.
And she say almost no nyina den.
Aba. Yeah, sure.
Say over the week no. Say ya na advantage atu kwan akomia binum ti say kumawu.
Okay.
Yeah, ene amanfo akokasa. Na ye konananom ho ene omukodi nkomo. Ama nananom di omunshira ema the friends say nipa na abanya boni din say the friends say ombe DC ema kumaman no
that is Kwasiama
Kwatomsi say nana him for agino first say president ayina omo ne hwan omo ba beka say omo mpe no enti omo ne assembly members no be den ebe kasa say na ebe ya assembly members no omo ne atu ahene omo anso ne ati ahene enti omo no ombe kasa ma omo de omo tumi no nyina den ama yura tomsi say assembly members no so yenya akonya issue assembly members no eno mo kasa ya uhwa ehono mo assembly members be ba ko 36 including government appointees omo 36 out of 36 no uhwa elected members no 25 and the government appointees no 11 ye besre government appointees a omo kumawu yesre mo say aban enye bo din say be government appointees a ana be government appointee a wo de also we yan say aban wanya bo din say be government appointee no oba say government business bia no wo say oba na oba support government business no but aban mo din say obo obi din say omme DC ya wo say meme nkonkoto aba emma sa ni pakro no
obeto so na o koto so magic cancer
even it's not about say magic kakra but government no once a wa appointing ni pano ana wa nominating ni pano din na ba say wom eye wa sade eye ewo so say also woto aba mani pano because wonya bo din a say amon for bebre na ewo ho but obi anya akonya man be government appointee but say wonya akonya who say enye obi even so obi kwa na appointee wo e de baya o say who say obi na di tumi na che nipa nsa ama nipa na appointee wo but enye nipa na nkasa na di pe appointee mo be government appointee enti esro mo government appointees a omo ba bia enye kumawu nko a say government nya bo obi di na oba say omembe ta government of the day business na wunu umpo o say nipa odi ne beba no o say oto aba ma no but mama ye nko say kwakoto aba na okwa ye hu kwase no ntachwene wona o say wunto wo nipa no so hu say wunto aba ma no ye very very suicidal ye besre mo ye kwakoto aba say that Friday ye be kwakoto aba e okumawu say ye kwakoto aba government appointees ni elected members no yesre mo mama enye once ema because ye koyo no so far obi ani anko kasem
Obia ni yen ko kasika sem say ye beji u say anase ye beji u say
baby the omoji 15,000 na laptop
kumawu me salutu kumawu obia ni yen kasika sem say meji u say anase meji u say but ye be sere omo ma confirmation no any 100% and once and for all say na be ya ye betimi ade move government business because ene say wo hwe your friend say ye drill machines ya abaya ni nyina na esiwo eni adwuma but akwan wo ho a utimu say akwan we o say yi we o say yi we o say project we to aso project we o say yi ni say ni nyina no say antime confirm this year bibia no wa ya be ye enti e be sere kumawuman na ya sere nananom ba bia obi akasa aduru bia no moma yenko kasa na your friend say yenko confirm ye nu atomsi once and for all kakra meka afa your friend say MMDC
no kwa na akasa ma no
na ye nu aguma de say aguma ya sere mo confirm aguma mai because aguma potential wa aguma mu no se man confirm na mai aguma bro mai president Mahama bro enti e be sere mo kono mo confirm aguma emfa mai ye firuwa ye bokumawu kumawu mo na mo confirm tomsi emfa mai kakra meka afa no hono no menim se mini aso beka binti ofiruwa de o se meka no meka media
is what an sorry be presiding member.
Mindani sorry be presiding member.
O kasa wi na no Daniel Mobi ze o minia ne kasa wi na ba beto aso de.
Who is me madi assemblyman pen. What must say?
Now assembly members, you see, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Assembly members across the country be Jessica. Dodo na Jessica to confirm MMDCs. We your OP secrets. And opema condemn mo. The fact is that Sikano OJ but at the end of the day, my nipani appreciate you rather than say, oh, we demand sika from that person. And it is something that we should condemn it. It is bad.
JB.
Why assembly member that? Let me be why be that? Also why be that?
Deep mama be that. JB. Me me koto e. What must JB. I was who say they call spade the spade no. MC now who confirm no. Fine, you see, assembly members' welfare is very, very paramount. But as MC and as a DC who confirm no assembly member who can go krana na go print punto about person so crowd on few.
Say be tuamoka.
Oh, I hear. Hey. I hear.
Is it not better than saying
better than but I hear.
The US so ya somehow.
There was a who say assembly members are Juma. Didn't say even your friends say MC ni MP aduma.
Wo na wo ni say edin. Na do who kokoko shemu say o kwa koye. O ko na onim say ye ntua wo ka. Meboa.
Nti but ye welfare so hia.
Na welfare hu hia.
Na assembly member wo so da wo ko assembly no. Obe na ntina ko assembly.
How many times am ko assembly?
How many times? 4 times in a year.
Why?
What must say 4 times in a year?
Na
easy. Dia na we am e.
O ko for MC here.
Eye condemnable say enye acting no interest also kokojiska. What must say? But I was say at least no appreciation kakra bi there. Also ni be kwakoto so about also to me so appreciation. And there me I don't dispute that. I was say we are no also show appreciation kakra. What must say?
Did anybody appreciate you and I say na je?
Oh no, I appreciate him. Me say there me kokoye man na ni so. What must say? Every day fine. What must say?
Ivan. Me name say what they want better MMDC's confirmation in moi. Me I don't support the fact say we so demand this sika san wa kwakoto no so aba. And government appointees so amoso moye dua brodifo amoso kwakwaji sika no. O kwakwaye government appointee because NDC na aba power.
Yeah.
So MPP na aba power o kwakwaye government appointee because o MPP ni. And na wanya kwa na kwakwasevo as a government appointee. So there's no justification say obe kwakwaji sika dey free nipa na onu nti o kono na kwakwaye business e dey ama onu so wanya so fa so no. These are some of the things I don't know if you have the same reservation or a similar one.
Yeah, I think last week I had a catch about how monetization that creep into the culture of politics in this country. And I'm not sure anybody is surprised because over the years, it's something you normalize it. So at the assembly level, people think that is how things are supposed to be. So when some of these things are happening, people are demanding sika for answer na yeba confirming the partner. To him, or free say, oh, that is normal because over the years that is how we've been doing it. I think that is the sick culture. And I'm some local government decentralization idea of yadeba. Just to, you see, the whole concept of decentralization is to bring the governance to the doorstep of the people.
Yes.
Because government city in Accra, the capital city, and yet Adibia no behu. So you constitute assembly in the form of power. I represent the top power there, just to ensure that never be ever cause our grounds in Ibiano. There will be the first eye on the ground to see. Na yet to me at so Abu Abayam and they said say there and some instances intervention be a kakra or higher the back when I solve situation, yeah. But over the years, because I would say decentralization where you set it in motion, how beneficial has it been? Go to our district, go to constituencies in Nasafo. You could see say these areas are lagging behind in terms of development in Nasafo, all because of these things. Because assembly member now Obano. So what charging the Genesis cannot come up with the Betia career, your friends at DC now, I can't name and going forward, yes, sunlight, I want to die from an opacusi, honorable mayor, your friends are adoring, honorable mayor, Nebusia near hospital, school fees, may tofundaka, that kind of nonsense, will come on your way. So another day, the priority of representing government and making sure, say, yebe share say development beto na manipa bino. We shift focus from those things and we begin satisfying people because nipa na mo very soon some of them also conceive the idea say be person contest the MP. So I think some of the structures in the reforms na dey ban any single obi oye DC bia at the ground bia no the idea of becoming an MP that particular way we need to kill it. It's either you want to be DC or you want to be MP. So this power struggle at the grounds I bring it into force. A lot of activities are mitigating the proper function of this individual. I might realize what this whole decentralization concept is seeking to achieve. Me, until say you make sure say you crack it down on this monetization, now you demonetize politics in this country. Some of these things will not come as a surprise because people at the ground, will always might want to take their pound of flesh because for them, so when taking is amre, na say nipa no ko we be your friend of phone so crowd. So for them, that is a fertile avenue for them to take their pound of flesh. So whether the person goes to succeed or not, they don't care. And I think is the reason why very often some of us come here just to educate the masses to understand that governance is not about who ko shia honorable, sika or besha winsem, and sika or dasho. Sa ne man yamfa mobra. It is about creating opportunities and incentives that are available. Ordinary person can take advantage. Say, oh, and she say, any near we mean so the money free one, but they are transforming my life with you because we didn't purchase how much and any part of the amount. This assembly, my men confirmation, and I say for yeah, can't want say me. One person will say, you can't even pay more than 5,000.
If you know more, depending on the assembly size, baby, I think say, Obum, I think say Greater Accra. Yeah. Assembly members no demanded 15,000 plus one laptop.
Or the 15,000, they are not the
and
you understand.
The other places, I mean, person member constituencies needing. Ebi no more 5,000 Ghana cedis. Enra, won sawom. Na ebi no more losing bonus.
That's crazy.
Na oko baby na chairman, losing bonus. Constituency organizers, losing bonus. It doesn't make any sense.
You need to understand, this whole thing is politics. Obia with interest. So somebody, or your president Abu Obidin, somebody want that person to fail at the confirmation so that another interest will pop up. So this is a human institution. If you understand the dynamics of politics, some of these things will not come as a surprise to you because the mere fact that President Abu Obidin doesn't mean automatically the people at the ground, will swallow say, oh, President the neighbor. No, some of these dynamics will come to play. Or be our interest at the constituency. But I'm saying, we need to demonetize politics from the base to the top. See, and to me, this creeping culture of monetization will bring into the space a lot of people Mosika, but are doing in the team. I know that these people will be hanging on. And the development that we seek as a country will never move forward. In recent times, look at how this on my way has suffered in the hands of people, quote unquote, are doing with him, sitting at top positions, taking foolish decisions. I know the day our impact near far more reaching and consequential on the life of the people of this country. Just imagine so our point of view and no take a critical decision. The impact man for so. What I say?
Now
we now share sensitive position. Now we take it top position. Decision no taking in answer. Do you know the number of lives are affected in the country? So I think we the citizens need to understand politics. You can't leadership. It is about entrusting the destiny of this country and entrusting the future of our people, no, into the hands of somebody or a reasonable or a visionary. Nipano can guarantee say your welfare no will be safeguarded. Now not because Nipano will sika no wakwaji sika free no ho and I say Nipano may confirm no that the following day metimi akwa ne nchen akwasere ni sika na se for no. I don't know. It's just a secular interest and I will find it. But when it comes to the larger interest of the people, now trust me, nothing will offend the fact. And again, on the dollar, I think so far so good. Yeah, we've seen a massive appreciation of the Ghana cedi. Now, Bloomberg survey and they rated the Ghanaian cedi as the best performing currency in the whole of the world. Yeah, clearly it shows that Ghana make a positive strides. Some of the economic initiative repeat dividends. I've seen some resistance on the part of your friends say good time as a forum say because people want guarantees. Say dollar no say are you stable for how long is it going to be stable? Their concerns are really your friends are understandable, but for me JB I think say now the investor confidence is back. Now people are investing. Money coming into the system, and Bank of Ghana is doing a lot of way and also now cedi no stabilize gold your friends say reserve as a forum and Ghana. Most of the your friends say gold exports in the hands of government that they cannot come directly into the coffers of this country. These are internal factors are coming to play. The cedi stabilization, coming up. But for me, I think that you see, the dollar is a running currency. Nobody can stop it unless you industrialize. The dollar is a running currency. Go back to Kufuor time. It's been running. There is no way the dollar will pull back. It's a temporary way for us, and for me it's positive. But until say you back was something substantial like industrialization, we need to industrialize as a country. Na sika yet krade kofa nema de bia abonte no you stop those things. Burkina Faso na no abrantie bae. I've seen a number of industrial way tomato factory de bia metena ha ka ho asem for no. Yes. Our minor and $10 and fan. These are high stake projects. I think the government must avail its mind to say dollar not stabilizing. How do we cut our import by making sure that we make significant investment in some of this infrastructure and in some of these sensitive areas? Sabaya, Ghana, Sikana, Yaswaka, Bontin, Kokra, from Vietnam, and other countries, yes, dollars, we cut this export. Sabaya, you see the Nibetia stabilize because anywhere in the world, who say currency near stable, now it means that country now I industrialize here. Sikani is stable, you don't take much dollars to go out there. And I think going forward, we also need this forest act. This forex, we need a specific actor about regulating and in second dollar in this country. Because for me, if you go to neighboring countries like even South Africa, no dollar, one way. Oh yeah. What I say? Yeah. And I think that we need a strict policy on dollar in this country.
Most of the North African countries, dollar or more, it doesn't have any value.
Exactly. You see, these are some of the things that we need to do. Now, our forest reserve, our forest, we need to collapse these enterprises because and make it a give dollar access to individuals who do not need it. Because this country you need dollar, I say. But I'm saying allow now there is no proper regulation that went to the hotels or Ghana, dollar. Oh. There are schools charging dollars in this country.
Yeah, sure.
You will need to find dollar, some of this and then I'm abochi for them as if relevant. And whenever you see monies in the hands of abochi, you should know say I run from the central bank and it will have an impact on the economy. Anytime there will be $1 sending pass it means I run from the central pool and it will have an impact on this country. So I think that they hear a strict policy. I ever regulate how a man for have access to forest and then as a forum. Answer and the back forest will cross or you need to go through a lot of scrutiny before and some bit me so you to activate some of these things. Now you're backing with this industrial driver. Trust me. The city will assume a certain stability. I bet me a boy, I'm a business and as for my tribe or Kruma. Now, Ghana ni kase or Kota dia or also feel that particular impact because the whole essence of this whole thing I question say JB cost shops or Kota dia price remember for my man. And then in recent times you can't even buy a car. It's a problem.
Hey, very serious.
What the background could do porter. Charges in as for most of them are in they quote the some of the distance in dollars. So when you buy a house, now what talk card $10,000 from the US, you will pay more than $10,000 at the port. All these things are bringing a lot of impediment for businesses and for Nippon also the bar or making sure say or the Bibato so car now than turn 50,000 and then Oko Garage or turn 3.8 billion all because of this CD instability and support. So I think
it's so serious.
Government has a lot of things to do. I commend the finance minister and government for some of the initiatives they've taken so far within 4 months. CD no Atimia stabilizer and S&P has even rated Ghana high over the weekend. I think it's a positive sign. Some of these things will bring investor confidence because in economy they are driving growth. Man for value or mind to confidence that investors have in the economy. Once people see positive signs and as for they will come with their money. And I think that we need to do these things just to ensure that for the first time, we stabilize our currency. Because we can take a cue from a country like China. Because my catch us Sikana devalue they deliberately devalue their money because China is an industrial hub. So in their economic toolbox, devaluation of their currency is one of the tools. They deliberately devalue because they are making external items very expensive. So we are China and they want to talk. The only option you have is to buy from their industry, Huawei and Oppo and some other phones. And then look at how they become more tribal. But I'm saying produce even a more common tea tomato need to fake crown careful about the bantino. The very moment you get dollar, you need to now the hawker near Madiaba or buy Nippon ton we are not converted to dollar. There has been price disparity then as a forum, then the prices will go up. We need to make sure that we industrialize. Sir, industrialization is the only way I bet me stopping the running currency. And yes, sir, any other intervention it's just temporary.
But to call one of the African countries now, interestingly, price are now okosisa no minimum kuta dollar.
Yes.
It's okosisa or more forest bureau honomona. More receipts.
Yes.
It's the number of days I'll be due honomone ebia so person free honomoa. It's either sobesisa back into the dollar
and take it
back. But obo humuso now you write receipts now. Omusika na ewo nsemu no. Is that so the better there? And now so say who the best to Marco?
Yes.
Because they will not change it to dollar equivalent if I'm
yes.
And in that case, you are taking their money back home to wherever you want to take it to.
Yes.
And so this is one of the means. Yeah,
we need a Forest Exchange Act.
Yes.
Proper one. Regulating taking dollar from the hands of street vendors, individuals, and some of these forest brewing some of these enterprises. For me, even though a business farm, and it sack dollar from way.
Absolutely.
And some of the banks in there. Bank for necessary Canada come abochi for, and they will tell you to go to abochi.
Now, I was so shocked to notice that bank biwa me modi. Me kuta account ho, but danka kuta dollar there. Oko any bank biya they say to be sama me boa. Yeah. Me ko bank na me ko akwase $100. Mo ka tell me say me ni account ho no to be $100 ne mama. And I was so shocked. I was like, hey, it's a mini account ho no mo answer. Well,
so you go to Abochi. So
absolutely.
Oko tiptoe lane that wa cry. Oko Abochi wa. Do you know so you can get as much as $300 from a dirty pocket?
Yeah, sure.
A very dirty pocket. Nipa no to won suspect is right one CD no. But okra $30,000, $300,000. I said the bottom or best amount.
Never, I don't cry say so.
Besides onya no hepa. These monies are coming from the banks.
Yeah.
They are in connivance. Just to ensure say they take their cut. That the banks will take the dollar, go and dash them, and they do this because about you know dollar no. So I think that we need the straight foreign exchange act. Regulating, taking money from the hands of individuals. The processes that you go through before you can change, if you don't have an account, you know, a disincentive. Government need to issue an executive order.
But there's a bureau.
No, order just to, but we need stringent measures just to ensure that we have a very stringent foreign exchange act. I be regulate how I have access to some of this. And again, institutions are charging in dollars. Any government payment that are done in dollars and those kind of things. No? We need to cancel those things.
That's how the white paper they are also.
Oh, now I'm going to cry no more.
And the white paper they
pay them in dollar equivalent.
Yes.
I think even if I know to cry, yes, the person would need dollar do then as well. But there are several other payments that we do in this country. You know hotels are more charging in dollars.
A lot of them.
And all corner they quote in dollars. Some don't even take the CD equivalent.
Yeah, sure.
But we live in this country. I think government needs to be very serious, and there must be a deliberate attempt to crack down on some of these enterprises. That is the only way we can sustain the city.
All right. So in the dollar CD equivalent, all this monetization in our body politics, especially confirmation of the MMDCs, Nina. I don't know you go so you can was we to the message at about Facebook now yet me can Eddie amount. Madika Kacho said in the Ashanti region 9 districts would seek confirmation of their MMDCs and including Mia Kasaminia Emmanuel Aguma. But let me this thing that I na me person make was because now the way in the heat of the moment. Let me person me to me boase kakra. Let me see commentaries and nyama ekoso. Now, for me making an informed decision to myself, so that se me no kasana se me person me tia say ya na so person tia say ya, you would appreciate where I'm coming from. But let me talk to some of the NDC people. NDC for no binom nyachum. Let me put it this way, without any fear or favor. God of what to about farmer NDC for say. Mumeye je ahomaso ene hantai woni paso muntie ne pa. Some of the NDC people appointees ne NDC core members ni be hypocrites. You don't criticize somebody in private. Near the microphone be si wano oh the pakra de onye hwe oh the pakra we oh yes sir. Oh yes, sir. And now can say no kofo no bia ye bonsam. You are not different from the enemy. Because now you have made it point clear for everybody to be aware the level of hypocrisy some of you, the members of the NDC, portray what Ghana had to say. Now I'm talking about the case of Gold Board versus Gary Sika Gary. Again, your friends, almost say friends Agradaa a day. Look, me, I am not interested in whatever it is. Because Sammy Gyamfi has never been poor. Yeah, you know where he started from. Okay, so kind of story and the history behind where he got his money from. I mean, convert those monies into dollars, it has not make any difference. But I am a time. Never bufu kese wo mu any the level of hypocrisy some of you the NDC members portray what Ghana had to say. More say some of you more let me put it this way. Some of you the NDC people are saying say Sammy Gyamfi ye je or ya homaso or ya hantai or you say you call him all sort of names in private. But we see our bedroom. Oh, Sammy Gyamfi. Oh, Sammy Gyamfi. That is hypocrisy. That is witchcraft. If you care to know. What is Sammy? I know your boss. What the boss? I'm different. Me and him. Say na. Me say Sammy ye je. Me say your hand tie. Na me share na me to be a case that me say Sammy ye je. Oh your hand tie. Reform come to the level of the people. Na me to be a catch na me ko share. Some faithful, party faithfuls, our kukuem, na me catch the one. Eye me and me subai enye. Me na me say bonsam no because bonsam dey me dem no. Now the reason why it's bonsam me so dey say. Odo dey be nim say or to say. But adamfo na ba ko ka me wan say ba kire bonsam ne bonsam ko ka kire no na. Me nim say oye adamfo no. Ono na say hypocrite dey say bisro no. You don't sit somewhere and criticize people in private, and when they give you the microphone in public, you make it look as if say, oh, all is what be being the one we see. Here, nobody sold Sammy Gyamfi out. When you say Agradaa new film, yes, or your confident trickster, no, but everybody is aware. But the mere fact is not a confident trickster. It is the NDC people who sold Sammy Gyamfi out. And NDC for them binom and the selling Sammy Gyamfi out. And I'm not looking to stand here as a wounded Hoshe, and you come back to make it look like you want to defend him as if he said there's nothing wrong. Please, we need this hypocrisy because we have gone past this level. Ghana, we have gone past this level. This is not what we need in our country. Yeah, Wamamu had to say, yeah, over millions of dollars cable Saira. Yeah, it's a walk with some. Yeah, tell she over thousands of Enyama, I say, Aira, with some. Yeah, tell she things are not going on well. We are not talking about it. We are talking about somebody's luxurious lifestyle or living. Even though, listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. Sure? Even though Sammy Gyamfi enya body bia onti amra bia, morally it doesn't make sense. Making an argument. Morally it doesn't make sense. But by law, which of the laws and a code of conduct are what go against it? Yes, President John Dramani Mahama did say, so living a luxurious lifestyle will portray and will give a different impression to the people. So just about 3 days ago, I will keep point on TV3. More fellas of Osukwache, phones are no use. And people are tagging and taking pictures of about $11,000 phones. Mienu and what could question them say. But everybody knows of Osukwache. Everybody knows of Osukwache. Before he became the minister, everybody knew him. But the fact is, what to me to cell phones in Mienu. Now it was so unwise. Some predecessors, yes, some behind him said about tap those phones Mienu. Now they want to see national television. So now I said, so can't a simple laptop or iPad do that work for you? And some of you were criticizing in private. Want to be a bedroom, and you still go ahead and call yourself a faithful member, a Christian, and somebody you think you love. Say that's a Peter. I'm me say me do Peter power bakume mua. Me do Peter power bakume. No me tiya kesi that him say Peter. Ne wo ye ne ye. Je ahomaso de hantan. Sasuba we afa wo kwesi hwia. Eye me mom na me Peter asem. Not the different person. And that is what some of the NDC people are doing to Sammy Gyamfi. Yeah. Sir, I tell say, morally, it doesn't make sense in your ear. Yes, be him. If I saw be so. But then you don't know that turn the whole and you end this with one binom and the turn Sammy Gyamfi. They saw Sammy Gyamfi out. By law, omumre biaso. Even though Oba Bemu is appointed as a government official, he has not been paid. Nobody has received any salary from any government worker. And I said, Francis Secretary Accountant General. But that does not mean, sir, before he assumed office, he was poor. No, he wasn't poor. It's a level of hypocrisy now. As a woman, now person who painting the pakwane black. Na mu sia do bedwam a na asa de mo de mo do ni pakwane che obia. I know the same people who saw him out. I know the same people who said, oh, Sammy Gyamfi ye je, Sammy Gyamfi ye hantai, na Sammy Gyamfi shower bonte kura na, de wo be sia ye de ho de atia wo kura no kokura no so be tia no. I know the same people who have been saying this. Are you not the same people who have been saying this? And now you want to crucify him in private and give him a good name in public. That is shared wickedness and hypocrisy. And yes, about 4, about 10 times without any level of apology to anybody. Because I have featured a sianka. And because why you never 10 times be a message you call. And as a country, that is not what we need. Amaya timu yes adi here. Eye nyama ye here ni. Obi kwabnane akwakot adisika akwakoto about 27 houses. Wakwejira dan one kind. Baako mienu miesa enna enum sa 27. Atisika do so podi akwakoto dan. Taxpayers' money. As a baby church, the boy cancel phone their chair said, or do Sassicano, or the Aquacoma MP, your friend said, MPC for allowance, a honor magic free, and then my way, serial callers, a honor magic free, MPP food soldiers, a honor magic free, and these people, this person is working freely. Near see, yeah, be that. Now, be a question, $1 command then you sit there, you crucify the person in private. Then you come to the public space. Oh, Sammy, what I see that. But you were a hypocrite because you're not going to tell him in his face. Sammy, let me tell you. The way morally, yes, a BNM. Forget about the fact to say, lady, no, you're a scammer, and that's or you're confident trickster, whatever you call it. That is not my concern. But how many of the NDC people that make sure what $1 they action in them? How many of the NDC people? And as I be woman Siena, obey Yiska, $1 now they action in them say, Jesus can with a your person all day, and I have given it to you for free. You have been doing some things in private, everybody is aware. Obi I aware, sir, oh, yeah, never in private. But the moment was coming, they set you up and they got you. And that is what one near now. Now, so the question is, a free now call, not be the self seeker, no way near be a farmer now. You will know the implication that comes with it. Your boss has said, the president of the republic, I don't know the brother catcher will say, sir, a luxurious lifestyle, no, any brebiemu, name home, Muajimunaho. And you know why they are doing this to you? Let me tell you for a fact. Let me tell you, Sammy Gyamfi, you are a brother. Let me tell you, listen. They are doing this to you because of who you are. When you meet them, you don't come to their level. You make it look as if you are extremely bigger than them. And then there's a sign that they will crucify you in private. They will sell you out in private. Now, and those people who are crucifying you in private are now writing on their Facebook who are saying, oh, Sammy, yo, and Sammy, it is a stop. The stop will be over. And yes, I'm confounded. They are the same people who sold you out. They are the same people who sold you out. Because this is not the first time. Some of us know, say, and never be brought by a man confounded. And I know, a lot of people are saying, everybody needs Sammy Gyamfi in his or her life. That's fine. Because Obia will quite fast to share the nyame. The person you are criticizing today is somebody's greatest helper. So you don't take chances at all. Because hey, Musi JB nya, Musi Captain nya, Musi Fia nya, Musi Antaro nya, Musi Peter nya. Or you be serious person or to turn as a class, so you dare not talk about that person. It is different from say Onyemobia. Because the kind of relationship Peter was different from the kind of relationship Peter and Fiat go. So the fact is say if Fiat go any Peter any fine does not mean somebody Peter any fine. And that is the level of hypocrisy some of you people are portraying to the NDC people. Especially within the NDC. Mama de say we who be there. Please, here there are best practices everywhere. And of course, except to say you are not guided by the core principles and the values of the best practices. Who live in luxurious lifestyle, without pen, I'll believe you. But all your government official there do see a Bible pen. They say what it is so toward Mokra Kofobeka all year po. So you should be measured in everything you do. Everything you do. Ebia now was coming to be their talk, your person to be here. Was coming to be there, your person to be here. But the reality is that if you are a government official, now who occupy any government position, you should be measured. You should be measured. It never do one moment to be a power. But by the fact is that the mere fact is that ya fa so oya ba mu nipa Oh yeah, no what the consequences that comes with it. And that is what Sammy Gyamfi lost sight of. No officer or yeah, not just like that because there was nothing, no motivation. He did that out of generosity. But please, that explanation now when they buy just way below the belt. You did something that was right, but with the wrong attitude. Let me be frank and tell you. You did something that was right, but with the wrong attitude, with the wrong approach. Because you cannot just tell me, say, okay, or you're glad that you were and when they did come and I said the crack, and where you scamano. No more bear, glad and no more so trouble. Did you give them money? I didn't tell you what a man is car. I didn't tell you what a man is car because was it because or harassing with Ziana? It's all man is car. It doesn't mean so be a show, so harasso or harasso man is car. You see, these are some common, simple mistakes. Be here. You need to me at the mawa. Come down to the level of the people. Come down to the level of the people and let every single Ghanaian appreciate every single thing you are doing. You can never be 100% right. You can never be 100% right. But the reality is that come to their level, appreciate them. Go in line with them because it will not take anything away from you. Be the one more best through one more. Say, and that's a wish I did not a witch now in the Duke or million to say, me who watch it, and then there cost 1 minute of that time, and to be taking anything away from you, but Sammy will not do that. Sammy Shiawa, it will tell me I never be a bear thrown in the day. We have what you come, not so we shall come at the beam. And that is what some of the people within the NDC for Nibino, Mumu Sama Mo Kenibini, but Musro, Ahomasro, Jet, any hypocrisy in Ashamoma, and I'm to make us as them we have functional. Musha Kukabudia, oh, David and I know the Betmiaka, oh, Tagodia, Eda Captain the Bibia Sonica, but what to be said that Unyaku could draw because you are looking for a certain kind of favor beer. I say the pakwan there, my young person the pakwan black and so that the person becomes an enemy, then you can have favor in the eyes of the person, and that is sheer hypocrisy and wickedness. Enough of that way, huh? And I'm not the one also watching this car. I be our dollars Ira. Oh, dollar there, oh, them what Ira. The fact is that morally it doesn't make sense because now conform be one moment chehon we share na ka betia mo muska be but you decided so the man Agradaa and kwanu atwemu akọ na mo kata sa Agradaa and say she should keep quiet. Somebody should talk to her. She should keep quiet. Or we're seeing the guy's case or no na Sammy Gyamfi ni maye I say yen the tutu from sir mo kata somebody should advise her to keep quiet. Or did the woman not do a crumb? What I told dear Kwana Woji, a dear Kwa, Bakufo, oh, you say, Bakufo, a also you say, you behave like a chameleon. And that is what a lot of people are talking about. It shouldn't be so. With the greatest of respect and humility to you. Because about the side or saying Sammy Gyamfi issues or blocking the chances or blocking a lot of young guys' chances. If by any case or by any chance, Nasa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, okay, Sammy, onya from Sobia. In any case, Victoria Hammer, if you remember the case of Victoria Hammer, Onua be deep private komo. Ebi our friend Peter, me mo pa there. But this one who say by the time I'm free about mu na ebi abanya $1 million be to account mu. That was her intention. She never committed any crime. But John Dramani Mahama sat her. And I'm Rafi. One committing body bia. One committing basic bia. But I GMS said it him. Anybody on the cast as no. And my John Dramani Mahama said, no way. Osakini Fiabemu. And you know the application of what is happening now? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And if the moral lessons of Victoria, is it Victoria Hammer? And Jimmy and Yajima and I am not sure that you have that balls. I am not sure you have that balls to criticize any wrongdoing of any of your appointees when they go according contrary to the law. Sana, what matter I'm a girl of who say, and no Victoria Hammer by moral lesson what to be and your body be, but to be sakeno because of a somewhere pay by what they buy or by Kaye. Nasa ultimate pamon dia. Nana sabi the officials by moral lesson by law when them rebia. But morally, and no more than us and fuck moi. That's what to be a punishment. My God of war who said, oh, John Dramani Mahama, sabi the fear somebody when or yeah. That it means technically that you will not have any moral justification to punish any of your appointees when they go contrary to the laws of the land. But in all this, the guy Sammy Gyamfi, nobody cares about that. Why are people talking? They confirm Kasa because he is a government appointee. And by law, we don't spend cedis, we don't spend dollars or Ghana. Yeah, these cedis. Even though Ghana for United himself, people are transacting businesses or other things in dollars. But there is a certain white paper after the Brazil, is it 2016? And a Brazil 2014. Brazil 2014. A buyer, $40 to go to Pampers near there, a Korean Kubenia, there by your Mesugu, yes, so. So there was a white paper said we should not transact any business or do business with the US dollar so that we can strengthen our city. Some white paper that still exists, but as some nobody pays attention to it. And so how come? And then people are talking about it. We know, go to people's offices, they are sharing dollars. Let me say this. One of your officials, I go report one lady be. Never do what Mama Mianka. Because I have said, and I'll continue to say, Sammy, if you don't come to the level of your people when you meet them, they will forever not be grateful to you because and found when this car never mobi, and found when they mobi, but the move so ye jet, oh yeah, homas what to do, it's braform now near Moncasa, braform, who's your more, let them feel important to you. Who share on call for now? Who share your core NDC members at? Let them feel that you value them. They are so important to you. And for that matter, you adore and you cherish them so much. But I said, who share will be now? I said, who share now? We go on the be say. I said, who know now? Or no, the pen or Babechia. South Sudan tie die. South Sudan tie. So it's better you stop it because Sabe, it will not give you anything. It will not add any value to your life. And people will begin to crucify you behind the scene. And when someone share in public, they will pretend someone do. But no, nobody is telling you. I will tell you. Now, and almost everybody is talking about everything. But let me say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, some of your constituency and the party people, I say, on call for now, what we as MMDCs at various places, you know. Party for them business say, on met your losing bonus, Emma call for the be Lucy Abano. Especially lower Achim, let me get the name right. Lower West Achim. As a man can say, Muhonomo. Your nominee, Paulina Akabila, and then you are to the Swaba. Who constituency organizer for the Charles Nyame say, obey 200 Ghana cedis as losing bonus to everybody. Mama to abandon Edietia, Paulina, your own nominee, a party person coming from a party people. And you see, that is stopping people at the back. Akonya betwa obia pebi. But you don't make it look so obvious to say. Chinchine chain, what time no? Now what time? What makes you think that John Dramani Mahaba de Akonya be ma? And the enemy here kwa omo say, "Chema Sunday what to no na, wo so sa near my 4 time we so." And a lower west at him, to me, you cannot call this young guy to order. And most of the sooner I say, no phone, Bola Sujana, Massa, most so, and no, please, my most of us had them at 10 times so. Also, better Lucy bonus, allow him to pay. In any case, assembly member be able to Lucy bonus to be now what you form. I must say this with a me, I would add any fear or favor. Share from 1992. Let's set this record straight. From 1992, about being one more, Waba or say, Obabetia assembly members of Waka. Our baby emu. But as time air kosono, if we see any nanyamaso essa. Even if such a language can sample your dynamica. Nani e come to be son who yet tilapia there. And the nipa jing et me day essa. This is one Obaya. The first term, what me are now assembly members. The second term, Osha was Obaya assembly members. And we are told to say every assembly member is going to take over, I think, 1,200 or 1,500 Ghana cedis, or whichever amount that is best known to the presidents. But who want to say, Mukoko for the Sabai be say, Omra may occupy that position as MC, and I was Mukoko for him. It's a binum assembly members for the binuma, or what general form, 15,000 Ghana cedis plus 1 laptop. What do you judge? Now, you expect development to come to your district or your electoral area. I'll first ask the way. Assuming, say, now let's do this calculation. Say, or 15,000 Ghana cedis. 15,000 Ghana cedis. And assembly members, a year 40 times 40. Say 600,000 Ghana cedis. Just one constituency, one district. Nipa de compare 6 billion. Not their bar for just one day to be confirmed as a municipal chief executive or district chief executive. That is a Uji Sassika way. Not also bar, not as a spending officer, or also by living a luxurious lifestyle, or also by not also being Ethiopia. I will not bring development to your doorstep because you took money from me. Would you have that balls? Can you be so courageous enough to criticize such a person? Over to me, yes, I could no. I could say this, I could say, or buy or near shape. Now, we refuse a time and now with this canoe. Oh, this canoe, that's canoe, feel so far away. You see, Yama, as a BBI normal. Now, corruption is becoming a new normal in our system. Corruption is becoming a new normal in our system. How are you, assembly member? Here, I am so disappointed to say. You people do not. As a Muslim who never be from a far distance. For a very long time. Obiama had was about the Mosca. Obiama has about the Malbibi. And then Obiso about the Malbibi, about the Triaka for Juma 1 year. Not to pay you off because he cannot pay you off entirely. But just to give you something that will motivate you. Not something that will pay me the account home. What they also said before, sir. Nipano, ya body didn't quite there, and it's also the Nipako 5,000, 10,000, and a friend is 15,000 plus 1 laptop. They be able to 20,000. Here, what is that? 20,000. Ask yourself, say, how many minutes have been 20,000 a week? And so, I am not much surprised to say, most of the MMDCs are mobile assembly members and Yasem. Because they will not pay attention to you because you are not relevant. Oh, man, the Pakwadi, you are corrupt. And we've seen various videos of that. videos be brave and about Bontia. I portray that kind of lifestyle. Yenim kwa yenim aluta. I was Joseph Municipal in the Shelter region. Ototia sika wiye about to abanama. Okobia okoko jeri sika. Ne. Mo oye NDC ni oye government appointee. Oye government appointee because NDC na about power. Yes, and account to me yes adwuma de nye. Na ka unya access to assembly. Na say na yabo udin say brabe government appointee. Now your assembly member you to so about our electoral area. Na say confirm puntuo free hod mo bra. Na say wo say o kwa na before so be GMC atumu de. Just otua 10,000 Ghana cedis inside the mouth. Otua 5,000 Ghana cedis in the mouth. So who was assembly member what dream more ha? I am telling you this. I just want to say something to provoke you. Now what dream da ho. Now when is that 10,000 Ghana cedis you know, you cannot even spend it more than 3 days. See, I might be the more convert the dollars. Because as a money cities, as a citizen, a more hammer or converting the dollars, not the amount. You see, when you do this, and your man and a more bono, these same people who go to church room, church friends are sorry them. Namu praising, but you can't crow for pa. What I yes, I crow for no. You can't corrupt the power na shas. But you people are refusing to make it look like, hey, we are building a nation, we are not building an individual. We are building a strong nation, not an individual. The monetization in our politics, in our body politics today, and you're worse off. Eti abambia bana so nimiansa, and obi bana so nimiansa yesa kwa nimiansa, but don't yeti na dwen yede. Ojieti, yes, so Ojieti, offer the same who fast so hormonko. Meanwhile, what you want more? A person put about constituency. What you want more? A chance put to about electoral area. But you are not doing something that is sensible. Imagine, say what them will say. Yeah, government appointees and assembly members, elected assembly members. Now, I'm confirming myself be a DC. Now they are confirm me. Let us be genuine. Ya to yam peno ampa oko yes go to yenti and then yes go to yenti nti yes yam play e me MMDC and I say MC ya. It is fair. Ba oji the sika na so ka tell say sika na ma je one de e dey ya meto the amount and na say meto fa ba wa at the end of the day obey MC ni wi a kia ne ke anya for the Christmas adwuma na obabeye obete de ka. And the contract we baba contract like a assembly member no our electoral area you deserve that contract but then not so we the sasika into that contract ya de obenya MC this would be a year because on for the Christmas. And that's one funny thing that is ongoing. See the year pa share or more government appointees or more buckets pa your MMDCs. Government appointees or more buckets here pa MMDCs. Ask me why. Sir Abaino Ebo Wondi Sir Kokoye Swafo Payni Ewo district Bia Eyadimonyam share say among all the people within the district what do you to me about Di? No problem. Ababa Maoka Obechi card for 4 good years. Uchi card for 4 good years here. Kanu okwa obeja card si ho. Ofa card nko. Ekwanya ofa so ko wura office wo no. Sa kwan na befa so apie. You will not take anything. Utumi fa bibia free office wo fa pie. Because office no enya wo dia. It is a public and of course a government office. It be bia di hono mo a ye de be ma wa e be sa so ka se fasade we fa ko MPs car loans e be sure say at the end of their tenure so bu tie you mo tua you ka de cry ne dia but wo MC ne ye be mo ka kese Tundra and a Land Cruiser now them now ko na ba now trimu ya wo de e na kofo so ajeje bribe dem de na so wa twetwe bi e na wo de ko wani ma it by the time wo de be ba ho so 4 years de be so Uti aye ye kwara so koye body bi na president kasa ma pamo wa bokagu. Mosusu nya mosu munya sika ni twetua. Mo abotua sika ni na munya sika ni twetua because amoamo. Se ni party say on to about for mount because one man is car. Let a person go to hell. After all, say one MC here, Ubewana. Say your boy did as a confederate confirm Obetia. And does it mean you're not going to make it in life? Does it mean politics is the only lucrative job in Ghana? Does it mean that politics is the only romantic area you can go and perform and make money out of that? Come on. I said, yeah, pamu chrono, yeah, pamu corruption, yeah, pamu corruption. But I said, corruption, nakasa, yeah, who fee, and the other die so, and the young who may be able to be their far. But the solution lies in our hands. The solution lies in our hands. Say, na mi jai, ketashisha ne proye, mi jai sa ademudia me jai jia, oso su me jai chia. Say, mi jai jia, o me jai chia. But as I say, the mama na ye new normal dodo, mama na ye basa, mama na ye tan dodo. Na kesi de na wu teacher ni o, teacher ni. Na wu ye teacher ni, ya body di some na me MC ya. Now by virtue of the fact say, oh ye party organizer nti, o say, o kotua losing bonus. Na wu ya, o da kwa kwesi baby, ato ne ho oba besia. O to oba besia ho, be ma wo ti say ye wadwum na ha, what else again? Come on. Come on. Come on. Let us not belittle ourselves. Mami yenye was a sabe brothers and crab ye nim yansa. As a woman democracy na ye enjoy us on mine. As a woman na say yes too much. It will be to be in your pair, or be to be can your pair, or be to be this No, that is not the democracy we bargain for. And yes, our democracy that got for, yeah, this say, yeah, babeto. Kabima bi kabi. Na ye for punto famra. In any case, what is politics? If politics do not reflect in the lives of the people, then what is the essence of politics? Samanyosam, afa sise papa, afa punto, afa na mo papa bi, afa mrabi no wabrabo. Ene oman na ye timu na, na ne die nti ne ya amanyosam. Like for instance, now listen, Nana Kufuado will forever be remembered in the book of history. Say, under the free SHS by finito, it sees it. Nobody can take away the fact to say, the free SHS by his name will forever be remembered in the book of history. But the choir of first free SHS, and only a summer Ghana for Ebesoboka. But the mere fact is that, or the free SHS Abano. Because the level of and the amount of school fees are not butiano. See who cost school or buy cost school. Sad that Jano and who should be. It is a baby balance of who say it's a way and a more way in as much as a free SHS one more. See a person review near making sure say you better me as a munchine I'm an improve. That is better off. But no man go say on the debate enti sabe so me ba ma me sesa na me nya de foforo bia efa so bia it should bring improvement in the lives of the people. Finito. It was your MC. We are assembly member. Yes. Today you are in a privileged position because you kokko boto de kwakoto abade kwakko yi obi oye MC. O ma payini George Rabadi Bahama na abodi din. Also hold on. But oh, get 10,000 cities. Also, hold on. But oh, get 5,000 Ghana cities. Also, hold on. But oh, get 3,000 Ghana cities. Now, who here? What's that? The homo bro? And who show a twat here? And the aqua, what my catch and say, honorable. And I say, the street light in I say you. Now, this is an car. What's your one way? Just Uncle Francis card away. I've got to street light in the amount. Uncle Francis card away. Because a cowman the boy yina about beteneka. And the most painful aspect is that, let me say this. Every year, The most painful aspect of it is that a man of woman are too vulnerable. Most of them are vulnerable to the extent they say, sir, open 300,000 Ghana cedis, open Bosia 3 billion, 4 billion, and I say any amount of money. Now wouldn't be now come back maybe say Omo Bosia na fa do juma and afa come near kwato swaba because the assembly members are demanding it from you. You know what it means? Bearman will either take advantage of you or will not mind you. Yes or no, or will be. But the Bayan maybe will hold more. It will influence the decision. Say, you are too desperate for the job. A Jumano Yade Mauno, as when you call Jumano Hodo, or pay Jumano, Unya obey, but I can't hear the Sikana de Bayan in the hall. It is a 1 more Jumo and yet day. Bema be no better. Bema be an Jumuha, I better take advantage no one wada, or in the name of Sika. Now they're quite to me. Now for one I'm holding one. Now people will be pointing their hands on you. And you wo, and you'll be some who, and you'll be any bread what the sunti, and of course I to be a woman. Let us not come down to the level where we can compromise with anything. No matter how hungry the lion is, it will not come down to the level where he will eat grass, and it will eat grass. There be. Sir, your friend Sebana Jata, a come to the sun crana. There is no way I'll to green grass makers or reader. Only because that is not how or they are taking the home. Say, I to me, a young wardrobe near to an papa beer. Ebe to me ama na ye akono na echina bi umetumi akọ umi ahụ makwa kwaka che say oh honorable oh minia me ho akire me genuinely na wuri na tumi aboa wa because of a less man would na di na nti o kira wo hia mo bi obi atumi fa ma ho offer ba because taba no hia wo mo ano obeji the scar. You made him pay for the services you want to render for him or her. But unless I hear me more, would you have that moral audacity or that balls to come and tell me, say, honorable, me here more bet me abua me ana. No, come on. No way. No way. Assembly members are na mukwa confirmation in now. Sabu wa hifa. Wa beji sika bia no. Seven brothers are watching more ha. Koko to abano, fakoba MC. Now no so put to be bar or the abrel. Simple. Mo kwa 4,000. Mo kwa 5,000. Mo kwa 3,000. Mo kwa 2,000 na symphony. Mo look. Sasi Canadian na beyo. Is it not better? Sir, MC Naba. Mo kwa to the swaba. What you me winning? Look at what happened in Saboma Dredge. It's about drudgery. I mean, it was so bad. Terrible. To the point they say MP had to run for his life. Because of, and also they said, come on, please. The party politics and the katakata and this do. Politics is not about Bibia, everybody pano atreno, except to me put to a baby and the brother lives of the people. That is politics. At the end of the day, me yamayoni, Peter yamayoni, Nanakwam yamayoni, Tago yamayoni, Nasa ya to me and far Ajuni Bako. Me yes in the Pinia Kase, some project where ye because I am on your floor. You want to leave a lasting legacy in our country called Ghana. Not what Chinabi. Ya body ya boedia kanwa nenya ma yase papa be na be Today almost everybody is mentioning the name of Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Why? Because he left a certain legacy. Everybody is hailing him because he left a certain legacy. He wrote a certain book. He wrote a certain name in the book of history, and that is what people are applauding him for. And Abayafo mabetwa mu akọ when you betumi abodidi who will be remembered so you member of parliament so you minister of state so you MC and now would take it up any government appointee wo betumi abodi wo person so ka say oba ye adwuma so de omafo ana. It is just because yamasika edi yanim we look for our personal and parochial interest yen nwene nkofo na omukoko gina awia to santene eto yeso aba. And that is terrible. That is witchcraft. And abesemo asofo no mo a mubenya kwanya akokobo mpaye ewo assembly meetings ase enemo a MCs eba mo sorry enemo a payinfo president and ministers eba mo sorry when they come speak truth to them. Mom fitri was second as a sem fanchire won na munya defend ya mo defend won no munya sadeba because at the end of the day you are not causing any harm to me, you are causing harm to yourself and the country you serve. If you claim that you want to serve the good people of Ghana, so be it. Serve with diligence, serve with utmost humility, and serve with clear conscience. Majini mu na ho fine sa wo de adwuma wo ye enye so ba benya wo hu bi na de adwuma na mo adwuma ebetumi aboa wo ni mionu na enchirima aba benya so faso. That is what we are talking about. Now finally mo amosha be live here on Facebook and mo amutse be live here on 95.1 enche ebo no watch ya yabrefo be take over. Now if you take it out from there. Now baby yadru ewo man mu ha say krono adoso that's the etimi chi krofo bia bebo bia mebie na no nka se krono adoso me ka ne biem say krono adoso ena krono adoso na say etimi chi krofo bia ma me mie ya no e me ka se krono adoso ye hu hia yen. Office of the Special Prosecutor, with all due respect to you, I want to ask a simple question. Where is Kedoforiata? OSP, Kedoforiata or here? Yeah? Mama mo nyesa Ghana obi ye ni pache obi. The mama mo go Ghana ni mo say just like that, all in the name of political interest. Mama mo nyesa anyway, he belongs to this political party. It is official. Yema another political party. Emra portray to said there. Akwane nye. Da be na kero for that share boss baba Ghana. Okaso baba on the 5th of May. And then 13th of May. Office of the Special Prosecutor. Where is Kero Foriata? Please. Say wa bo Ghana krono. Say we di Ghana wu. Say oni Ghana ni ni ya. Madaroma, baby asem bia mo kwatwe demra. Baby asem bia mo kwatwe demra because onya Ghana ni nche obia. Onya Ghana ni onya superhuman enche obia. Some feel say any of the government appointees ebu Ghana and nasa amamo emra so a nasa possible de meko court and the meko kwajasem dibia. Please munya de ntem mama na political talks and political defend and a witch hunting and witchcraft. No way. No. What is good is good, what is bad is bad. What is good is good, and what is bad is bad. Yes, see, there are places in Ghana. Omu ye ina mukania. Muteni ye pao. She, odim se auto electricity biya. A charge me was a rural electrification project. I said, I think it's 1% or something. Utia sa sikano. Na ye in the privileged places. ye wo krokese mu sa sika to boa ketenkete no ya tete sa sika no ne sa to boa no e dia ko nkroketo mu ni kanea na yetime provide wo kanea ye tia sa dia away from day 1 till end. But the next say you see the person we extension e different places and now say bia krokito mu a ne yesa kwa bombo sia ne yesa ye de kwa tosa cables no ye de cables ba bedru gada ada cables na yira ne ya kasa saa hwetre sam na de na agiagu na afi gada ni ne kasa asa gada ni nim ne oye na ya gusodi ya pai e na Ghana de e be ye ni e na Ghana say o e na krono odoso ba bi no mia de na boss akrono no e na krono odoso e na sisi Ghana te be ye ni e na Ghana te be ye ni say Ghana be ye here it is up to you obia what the Ghana wu obia one for super papa and danadi ewa mamu a etwa mu no na sa mamu foforo aba na sa mo feel sa di pakro no e di Ghana wu a sa di pakro no should be called to order simple and then as a yetete ye ho say as a dey adako dada do su ba bi tantan bi na as a ye do ye ho ye no ye what is the meaning of all this in any case one simple question before I say goodbye. Is California bigger than Ghana? California also check Ghana. Say, Edubu Ahiro say one also check Ghana. Or says the benchy. Say, what say, obo NSS chrono, obo Ghana chrono, through NSS, also check Ghana. Mama, I say, and your man, basa. As a man, I say, you need any sense of direction. We don't have any sense of purpose. We are say, you need maybe a year call from us. We don't even know where you're going from here. I say, you need maybe a year call. I say, direction, now you're dead. No, but that is not how it is. And yes, how they say, Bano. I buy him when the Pababa won't change His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Man, change. Emma enka 1 year enka busumi sia ana busumi mienu abe free office wa ka tell me say wachi kedofori atatum say waye adaya waye bone ana say wachi osiasibe echi atum adaya wabo Ghana krono ana say waye bibia obechi obi di atum adaya say nipa krono etia Ghana mraso no please if it must be done it must be done well if it must be done it must be done well. If you want to arrest somebody, take every single necessary steps bia edimu bia na famra no efa chichili pakro se Ghana emra no esuche obia dia mama one person and then the papa could be ebro Ghana so nobody is above the laws of Ghana, nobody is above the laws of our country because me kwadi boni a e beti me na no akwai a friend say minority leader Ecobo police in the Asumi. Yes, oh, yeah, starting investigations. Hey, are we serious as a country? Na onu church yenya kukudro. Na wakwat down the office. Na wa church say yem probably into yakwa investigation because police no assault no. Meanwhile, it is on video. Everybody has seen that. So who can your friend say, African market, you slapped a police officer in a beret. Obia osete coat of arm a boss wa oye Ghana eduma. What's the way a minority leader? I would nimumra or shemra. No way you sana their shini pakrona soon. Now we are what's a kutran to their pakrona so near to Ghana Hanumusi, near stressful. We laugh over these days, 3 days, 4 days, now sending to a chat. Is that how you want in Ghana? Is that the kind of country you want to build? Come on. Come on. Enye. Let us know. I said, let's call a spade a spade. Calling it a small spoon. No. In the end, it will not bring anything good to us. It is going to worsen our situation. It is saying, say police, at me and chef in your market. At me and Yakuku for now quarter. Say, maybe share police in a bona suma. And now some are sorting police in Would you have that moral right that moral right to also arrest me and take me to court? Ye cha and saboni be their 200 ma and saboni no eye die yadodo. Eti obi a wo mamu ana say o we ska kakra na so we di kakra ye body a so the body we there it's a holy sin. But I took your body, hey, let us crucify you because on your beer. Is that the kind of country we want to build? Or my you see a person, you do your home, near teacher of mine, near the father say discipline, and this is short man anymore. Is that the kind of country you want to build? Hey, so I got an Israel yet. Now you to me and Yakukudro. You to me your Mexica, Aqua hospitals. No Mexico no edaso gumurem all in the name say aban bi by or say ideology na okuta no sa adwen na wo tuma this hospital no me peti mi jama hospital no aka wurem na kwabra ne te ho ne etua ne ka. Hey, come on, so if you want to make it work, let us make it happen. See a person here juma ya mani nya juma na nya yie. Yes, hypocrisy. Saya chumsubani and the two Krubhan Museum. MYN. Good morning. Obi abaya sabi abo fasa so spray no.